Hello. In this session, we can cover about the therapeutic application of EC inhibitors, angiotensin receptor blockers, and the renin inhibitors. The therapeutic uses of AC inhibitors. As AC inhibitors are useful in many cardiovascular condition, they are helpful for treatment of hypertension. It is a condition where there is a sustained increase in the blood pressure. If it is not controlled, if the patient with the hypertension cannot be treated with the appropriate drug, it can produce various other conditions like myocardial infarction, congestive heart failure, renal failure, or stroke-like condition. There are many drugs used for a treatment of hypertension. First line drug among one of them is EC inhibitor. There are various advantages of hypertension with EC inhibitor. One of the advantages there is a leak of postural hypertension. As we know that alpha blockers are also used for a treatment of hypertension and they produce postural hypertension. Another one, there is a no rebound hypertension on withdrawal. If beta blockers are used for a treatment of hypertension, sudden withdrawal of beta blocker therapy may lead to rebound hypertension. If patient having hypertension with associated condition like asthma, diabetes, gouty arthritis or peripheral vascular diseases, EC inhibitors are safely used. Like beta blockers, they are not used if the person having asthma or diabetes mellitus. Same way, diuretics are not used if the person having gouty arthritis. So EC inhibitors are safely indicated with associated conditions. It can also prevent the hyperaldosteronism and the potassium loss. EC inhibitors can retain some potassium ion. Hypokalemia is one of the adverse drug effect of diuretic therapy, and it can also, being a aldosterone synthesis is suppressed with the EC inhibitor therapy, so the aldosterone level can also be reduced when the EC inhibitors were administered. It can also reverse the ventricular hypertrophy. If aldosterone level is reduced, there is a no alteration in the cardiac structure. So there is a reversal of ventricular hypertrophy. And the most important one is it can improve the quality of life. When the person is treated with the EC inhibitor therapy, it can control the blood pressure. There is a no much adverse drug reaction, and there is a no specific harmful effect are associated with the EC inhibitor therapy. So it is first line drug for a treatment of hypertension. It is used for a treatment of heart failure. When we can say that the heart is failing, the pumping capacity of heart is reduced. When there is a decreased pumping capacity of heart, there are two types of responses were generated, short-term responses and the long-term responses. In a short-term responses, the body detects that there is a decrease in the cardiac output. So body feel that there is a reduction in the cardiac output and body try to increase it by activation of compensatory mechanism like sympathetic nervous system and renin-angiotensin system. By activation of this compensatory mechanism, there is a faster and the stronger contraction can be generated because of availability of catecholamine, and there is a fluid retention, and that fluid retention is helpful to increase the pressure. So for a short period of time, body try to increase contractility by activation of a compensatory mechanism, and the tissues are perfused due to this activated compensatory mechanisms. Long-term responses in heart failure. Due to continuous activation of renin-angiotensin system, there is an increase in a preload. That increase in the preload and afterload, as well as there is a growth promoting action because of availability of more and more amount of angiotensin 2. So that angiotensin 2 increase load increase growth, and that leads to remodeling of heart. If the structure of heart is altered, there is a further worsening of function. If the functions are further worsening, like there is a further fall in a cardiac output, body try to compensate it by activation of compensatory mechanism, and there is a further remodeling is developed. So there is a vicious cycle is generated, and on a long run, gradually it leads to worsening of functions of heart, and that condition is known as a decompensated heart failure. ACE inhibitors were administered for a treatment of heart failure. ACE inhibitors can overcome the short-term responses as they are the vasodilator drug, so they can reduce preload and afterload, as well as they can also reduce the sympathetic overactivity. And on a long-term responses can also be suppressed just by reducing aldosterone release, and if aldosterone is not available, there is a reduction of growth responses or the remodeling responses are reduced, and gradually the functions of heart is improved by using ACE inhibitor therapy. You can see that clinical outcome which are measures in heart failure, that is a person getting symptomatic relief, there is a decreased disease progression and reduced morbidity and mortality. The other indication is a myocardial infarction, as due to infarction, the some portion of myocardial tissue getting necrosed, and due to that necrosis, the pumping efficiency of heart is reduced. And whenever there is a reduction in pumping capacity, body try to compensate it by activation of compensatory mechanism, and that can increase preload and afterload. Increased preload and afterload leads to ventricular remodeling. That remodeling can further increase wall tension. And again, as like as in a heart failure, there is a again vicious cycle is generated, and gradually the functions were reduced. If ACE inhibitors were administered, being a vasodilator drug, they can reduce preload and afterload, as well as they can also reduce remodeling. So that by using ACE inhibitor therapy, the vicious cycle which is formed, that can be broken down. And if on a long run ACE inhibitor therapy is administered, it can reduce recurrence of myocardial infarction, and it can also postpone the need of coronary angioplasty. Used in a prophylaxis in a high risk subject, those persons who are likely to getting cardiovascular event. In those persons, if ACE inhibitor can be administered as a prophylactic therapy, it having protective effect on a myocardial tissue and the vascular smooth muscle, and it can improve the endothelial function. So on a long run, by using ACE inhibitor in a high risk subject can delay the development of cardiovascular events. And the indication in diabetic nephropathy. In diabetic nephropathy, there is a gradually increased pressure gradient at a glomerular membrane. So that pressure gradient is increased just because of dilatation of efferent arteriole and the constriction of efferent arteriole. So that can increase pressure at glomerular membrane, and that increased pressure can damage the glomerular membrane. That damage of membrane can increase protein leakage, and that may leads to proteinuria. If ACE inhibitors were administered, ACE inhibitor can reduce the pressure at glomerular membrane because of dilatation of efferent arterioles. So there is a reduced pressure gradient, and gradually the damage to the glomerular membrane is suppressed, and it can prevent protein leakage. Of non-diabetic nephropathy, ACE inhibitor can decrease proteinuria by similar mechanism by reducing a pressure gradient, and it can alter the membrane permeability. So the proteinuria like effect can be reduced in case of non-diabetic nephropathy. And they are also indicated for the scleroderma crisis. This is a condition where there is a increase in the pressure which is associated with the deterioration of renal function. ACE inhibitors, if they are used, they produce vasodilator effect, they reduce the pressure, as well as ACE inhibitor can also improve the renal function. So the both the effect which are produced in a scleroderma crisis, that can be overcome by using ACE inhibitors. So this is all about the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Now move towards the angiotensin receptor blocker. There are different type of angiotensin receptor blockers like losartan, irbesartan, candesartan, valsartan and telmisartan. Out of all this, losartan can be considered as a prototype drug. So, losartan being an angiotensin type 1 receptor blocker, it can block various functions which are produced due to angiotensin 2. It can block the vasoconstriction, so there is a vasodilatation. It can reduce the activation of central as well as the peripheral sympathetic activation. It can also reduce the release of aldosterone and adrenaline, and due to that there is the less sodium and water retention. And if aldosterone is not there as well as the angiotensin 2 is not able to produce its function, growth promoting action can also be reduced by using losartan. How angiotensin receptor blockers differ from the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor. As such, they produce the similar mechanism of action as well as their indication are similar, but they will differ as angiotensin receptor blocker cannot degrade, it cannot affect the degradation of bradykinin. That means there is a no accumulation of bradykinin, and there is a no any adverse drug reactions which are associated with the ACE inhibitor. That is because of accumulation of bradykinin. So the bradykinin associated adverse drug reaction cannot produce with the angiotensin receptor blocker like cough, angioedema and rashes like effect. There is a complete inhibition of angiotensin type 1 receptor. Means by whatever the pathway angiotensin 2 is synthesized, they are not able to bind with the receptor site. If ACE inhibitors are used, by another pathway, if angiotensin 2 is formed, it can stimulate the receptor and produce the action. So the advantage of angiotensin receptor blocker is that there is a complete inhibition of receptor. And if type 1 receptors were completely in a suppressed state, there is an indirect activation of type 2 receptor. And we have discussed it in a previous lecture or previous session that if functions of type 1 and functions of type 2 receptor are totally opposite. So if there is an indirect activation of type 2 receptor, they are also helpful, like there is a vasodilatation, they can promote the apoptosis, cell growth is reduced. So all the effect are helpful with the angiotensin receptor blocker effect. Which type of adverse drug reaction are produced? They produce hypotension, hyperkalemia and phytopathic effect. Cough, angioedema, those effects are not produced with the ARB. Therapeutic uses, they are used for a treatment of hypertension, congestive heart failure, myocardial infarction and diabetic nephropathy. And now direct renin inhibitor, that is the aliskiren. It is a non-peptide bind with the catalytic site of renin Due to that, it can prevent binding of angiotensinogen, and there is a complete separation of renin-angiotensin system. This substance, which is used to those person who cannot tolerate or to respond to a first line antihypertensive drug. There are list of drugs used for treatment of hypertension. If the person cannot tolerate those drugs, then as on a second line, you can use renin inhibitors. So this is all about the renin inhibitors and ARB. Summary: ACE inhibitors and ARB both can inhibit activation of renin-angiotensin system, and due to that they are helpful in various cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, congestive heart failure and myocardial infarction. Angiotensin receptor blockers, they can no there is a no accumulation of bradykinin, and due to that certain adverse drug reaction like dry cough and angioedema can be avoided with the angiotensin receptor blocker therapy. In this session, have a good day.